think we're recording. Yeah, let me make this
Yep.
bigger.
Uh,
You were just telling me about well, you just told me that you moved. How long ago did you move from the city to the
uh,
woods? Is that what you said? You live in the middle of the
yeah,
woods now?
middle of the woods. I got almost a 200-yard range. Yep, right off to the
Oh
side.
man.
I got the property about 5 years ago, but
Hmm.
it was raw land. There was an old beat up trailer on it, and wiped out the old beat up trailer. And every year I kept going through with a skid steer and excavator and trying to open up a field so I could have a range. And then this last year, well, actually, it was the end of 24. I got set up, put a septic, and I did everything myself. So I
Wow.
saved a lot of money myself and two of my friends, but it saved me, I mean, probably a quick 100,000 or something like
Oh my
that.
gosh. So
Yeah,
you when you say you just moved there, you just moved your family out there 8 months ago,
yeah,
but you've had the property and you've been working on it for
yeah,
5 years. Okay.
yeah. The property working on for 5 years. The house took me about 6 months. I got one of those Amish like deluxe shed slash barn dominium, metal roofed, 2 floor.
You
It's
built
a
you built that?
No, I ordered that shell,
Okay.
and then when it came in, I did my own septic. We had to do the foundation. We had to do the electric work. I had someone come in and help me with the electric work, so I could pass the inspections and everything. But yeah, I did everything else. The drywall, every pretty much everything. Kind of still looks like a construction site behind my house because winter hit like a month early, so I did
Oh
not get
no.
enough done. But yeah, we were like half ish off grid. I mean, I've still got electricity, but wood stove is my only furnace, stuff like that. I
Okay.
did recently put in a mini split,
Okay.
so
Yeah.
and it
Yeah, one of
doesn't do
those.
enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a cheap one. Yeah, yeah, it doesn't do enough, but it
And
helps.
do you have a family too? You got wife and kids?
Yeah, wife, two daughters, youngest one's 21, oldest one's turning 24 in like a week or two.
Okay.
Yeah. And I
Nice.
got the oldest out on the property and temporarily the youngest on the property. So one of their husbands and then the other one's boyfriend stops by once in a while or whatever. But
Okay.
yeah, so both grandkids on site currently.
There you go. Nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when you say you moved them out there 8 months ago, did you just get the the house to the point where they
Yeah.
would live there? That's where my mind goes. Like,
Yeah.
when will my wife be willing to move out here?
Yeah, I still had to get everything because I had a building inspector. I had to.
Mm,
That's when they told me we could move, and it was literally the weekend after I got the paperwork for it. We just moved everything.
nice.
Yeah, so I've been in cities literally my whole entire life. I was born in Michigan, then we moved to New York for 28 years or something like that, and then moved back here 14 years ago.
Well, I guess we should probably pause and tell people who you are. Your name's
Yeah,
Andy, and you run a
yeah.
YouTube channel called Always Survive. Yeah.
Yep, that's one of them.
Okay.
I have a gun channel too, but I just
Okay.
kind of switched it over from a knife channel to a knife and gun channel. But
Of
yeah,
course, yeah. And then,
but
so you have a firearms and a knife channel, and then you have the prepping channel, which is Always Survive. Is that accurate?
yeah, yeah.
Why not combine them both?
I got in trouble so much on Always Survive. I've been on there for
Oh.
13 years or something now. I
Hmm.
mean, I had like 2,000 videos. They've taken down about 300 of them. I've gotten several strikes. I took down a couple hundred myself, so I still got about 15-ish hundred videos over there.
Oh crap.
But I get beat up over there too, So it's like, I mean, I don't make any money really. Like
Yeah.
a box of 9 millimeter a month, but you have to wait until you hit the $100 threshold. The other channel, believe it or not, now I started switching it over to guns from the knives. That it's picked up a little bit, and I actually make more over there with less than 3,000 subs. So it's kind of weird.
I I've noticed that too. So on my channel, I keep saying this. I don't really do gun content. I have a few videos that talk about guns, but I don't like show a lot of firearms, just very briefly if they're part of a kit, but it's
Yeah,
not the focus of my channel. But I will
right.
tell you that everybody's told me, hey, if you do gun stuff, the monetization, you'll make less money, you risk getting
Yeah.
dinged and all. But the
Oh,
few firearm videos where I talk about firearms, those
yeah.
videos have actually generated more revenue per view than a lot of my other stuff. So it makes me
Right.
curious. I assume it's just because the gun industry, I don't know if they're putting ads on my videos or how that works, but it seems to be, there's some people who make it. I mean, there's some YouTubers out there who do nothing but guns, and they seem to
Oh,
be
yeah.
doing well. Although I heard recently that they've cracked down again, and there's a bunch of channels that got kind of cleared
Hit.
out. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of trying to do the prepping thing still a little bit, but now I'm out here trying to homestead a little bit. So now I'm setting up a big spot for a garden. I do have sheep now. I got 8 sheep. Yeah, in November I got 8, and they all came to me. I had 6 females, and they were all pregnant. So now I have 14 sheep. So
Oh my gosh. Wait,
yeah, it's pretty cool.
how many sheep? How many babies does a sheep have?
These ones are all under a year. Now they're over a year. They were under a year when I got them. The first time through, a lot of times one, maybe two, but
Okay.
after the first time, they usually have doubles. I've got Katahdin sheep or Katahdin sheep. I think it's with
Uh-huh.
a D, and I've got the ones that don't have the wool and don't have horns on purpose because
Hmm.
it's just easier, and you don't have to shear them or anything like that. And my
Yeah.
buddy's got a pile of them too. So now I got males that weren't with these females. So this year they can breed with all of them. I think out of the six babies, I think 2 of them are males. So I'll be trading them off or putting them in the freezer.
Okay. And then
Yeah.
yeah, why do you have sheep? Is this a meat proposition for you or
Oh
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Definitely. Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
Gotta. Yeah. And I.
S-
Yeah.
So
That's
you
gonna be cool.
you recently moved onto a property. Now you're getting
Yeah.
into homesteading. I mean, that sounds like the dream of prepping. It sounds like a prepping channel to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are
yeah.
you
Oh
so are you what I guess what kind of started that move for you? You said you bought the property 5 years ago, so you've obviously had
yeah.
this in mind for a while. Like, can you
Yep.
kind of talk about your prepping journey a little bit? I mean, you grew up in the
Okay.
city, and
Yeah.
then now you're becoming a homesteader. Can you talk about
Yeah.
that briefly? Like
Yeah.
how that happened?
It pretty much started out in New York. Well, 9/11, I started thinking about stuff a little bit more. I remember thinking about that Y2K thing, but the 9/11 stuff got me a little bit more like, after that, and all the power was down, and, a lot of all the cell phones went down. People were going crazy. Everybody around went crazy. There was,
Were you in New York City during
no, my
9/11?
parents were still in New York.
Oh,
My dad
okay.
was 2 blocks down the way. He just left the building. My uncle and my wife's uncle worked in the Twin Towers. One
Wow.
of them was in the second building, but they hadn't even gotten upstairs when the first plane hit, so they got out of there.
Wow.
And I was up towards Albany at that
Okay.
point,
But it
and it
hit
was
close to
crazy.
home for you though.
Yeah, because I was working at a machine shop right alongside the Hudson River, and we had some old dudes out there, and everybody went out for coffee. And back then, I used to smoke a cigarette, so whatever, I'm gonna go out and smoke a cigarette. And they like planes and trains. These 2 old guys, old guy Tom and a guy they call Crazy Willie. He was just crazy, but they were,
Crazy Willie.
like in their 60s, and they're just sit out and drink their coffee, and a plane goes down the Hudson. He's like, planes don't go down the Hudson. Nope, nope, never seen that before. The other one says. I'm like, you guys are nuts. I mean, I went back
Yeah.
inside. It wasn't even 10 minutes later. Boom. It's like,
Wow.
oh, we just watched it go right down the Hudson. I was
Crazy
a
Willie made
mile
you go
from it.
crazy, huh?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I guess he's not crazy. He knows what he's
Wow.
talking about. Yeah. So over there, after that, I think my wife was pregnant with my first kid when that happened. And then we saw everything. I mean, and we had that other storm. The whole East Coast went down for a few days. I can't remember. That was right around the same time went without power, and everything went crazy, and we couldn't get stuff. And I had just gone shopping, and all the power went out for a few days. And I remember that, and just having enough water or beer or whatever at that time it was
Right.
probably beer and cigarettes because everything was closed. And I was like,
Right, right.
what am I gonna do now? So yeah, that ended up happening, and I just said to myself, like, people broke into my car. I had the window open. It was still summertime, I think, when that happened, and they had broken my gas can off, and they were trying to broken the door off, and they were trying to siphon the gas out of my car.
Yeah.
And I had gone bird hunting a few times, so like I only had a shotgun at the time, and
Right.
I think a 30-06 because I went deer hunting or something, and yeah, pumped that out the window, and they were took off running, but it still broke the door off my stuff, and I figured like I don't know. So I needed to do something better. I've always been fighting. I'm into all the martial studies for the most part. I did
Okay.
Dairaki Jiu-Jitsu. I did Jeet Kune Do over there. And I've trained with a lot of people over in New York, like George Lyamis, who was Jerry Petite's student. And Jerry Petite was Bruce
Okay.
Lee's student. So
Yeah.
like I got some good lineage when I was over there. Direct jiu-jitsu. I did Thai boxing, regular boxing. I boxed that KO boxing gym down in Catskills where Mike Tyson
Oh,
fought.
really?
Oh, first time I went down there, they just blew my whole face up. They just beat me up. It was crazy. Uh, yeah. So I fought a lot.
So you've been into
Some
self-defense for a while, and then so
right
self-defense world, and then these
started.
major events happening. That was
Yep.
kind of the okay.
That's pretty much what happened. And my brother was the gun guy, and he was just a 22 guy, just like hip firing 22s at 50 yards at pennies. He'll take bricks of ammo and go out all day until he could do it. Then he started being able to do it. And I was like, man, this kid's weird, but he might be on to something.
Do you have a
And
video of that? I'd love to see that. Hip
no,
shooting
I
a
haven't.
penny.
Yeah, I don't have a video of that. That was before the cell phones. That was
Yeah.
years
Oh,
ago
gotcha.
when he was doing that, and I just never got into it. How many girls were over in New York, so I was just doing other things. It's like, you go ahead, go to the woods. That's stupid, man. There's 5 girls over here. Want to go
Yeah.
drink? Oh, here we go. Yeah.
Now, when
So
did you move to Michigan then? If you live
uh,
in New York?
I moved back to Michigan when I 35. So coming up my 14 years in May.
Okay.
May I'll be back for 14 years. Yeah, it was a big move because I was doing masonry over in New York with the union for
Hmm.
12 years already or whatever. But it was just getting so crazy. Like that year, they had passed like 3,500 new laws, and some of them were like drinking and driving laws. But it wasn't like for alcohol; it was like water. If you get
What?
if you get caught, it was a fine. And then I mean, just there was so much stupid stuff, eating and driving, and they had so much. And I had gone through just before that, I had a hernia. I ripped open my stomach or whatever, and then they
Oof.
found a tumor and everything. And I had been on a recovery for a few, and the cops over there were just everybody was starting to go nuts, and I was starting to see it. And I mean, I got pulled over for a traffic stop that they said I went through the light, but there was no way I could have. I'm on a bridge. I was going to turn.
Right.
And I mean, whatever. The cop gets out of his car and puts his gun in my face. I'm like, are you kidding me? He's like, do the. I'm like, look, I just had surgery, man, a couple days ago. I can't, like I'm stitched up everywhere, dude,
They're
and
like, I don't care. I'll rip you out of that car and throw
oh
you on the
my
ground. Yeah.
gosh, dude.
Oh,
So everything over there was just too much now. And my parents had moved. Mom started out in Minnesota. Dad was from Queens. They met in Ohio at
yeah.
college. They moved to Michigan, had me and my brother. And then they had just moved back to Michigan a few years before. And I was just, I got 2 girls. Everything's going crazy over there. I just called them up one day and I was just like, I'm either going to move down to Indiana. I got a job offer in Indianapolis. It
Hmm.
was less pay, but it was a different, different environment. So stuff's a lot
Yeah.
cheaper out this way. And, or, come out by you guys. And the wife was like, we got kids. We got to be by some family because literally both sides of our family, about 80% of both sides are right in New York. And
Okay.
about 60% of them live down in the city still
Okay.
to this day. Yeah,
Yeah.
down in
Yeah.
between Queens and Manhattan for the most part, but some
So
in
you
the
got the
Bronx.
hell out of there then, huh?
Had to go. So I just threw everything into a storage, came out here, and I used to collect gold and silver. And people used to tell me I was crazy when it was $2 an ounce, and it was I was paying $250 for an ounce of gold.
Oh my gosh.
And they're like, dude, it's never been this high. It's gonna crash. I'm like, I don't know. I'm gonna hold it for a little while. It's kind of like a savings for me, so I don't spend the
Yeah.
money. And it goes up to $1,000. They're like, you still got that gold? I'm like, yeah, but I'm not selling it right now. It's
Haven't you
gonna
sold? Yeah, you got to get out. It's gonna.
yeah. But I sold once I came out here, and I think it was like closer to 2,000 or something like that. But that got me in my first apartment, got me into a place that paid me half of what I was making at the other place. And I was a manager of a pizzeria out there. I've actually had a couple friends come out here and visit, and they were just like
Mhm.
a couple of potheads or whatever too. That
Yeah, yeah.
the sky's blue and you got green weed out here, and it's like I'm like, okay, man, whatever. And they actually moved out here, so I
Really?
got a couple of my New York buddies that moved over here. They're like, this is
Oh
so
my
much better
gosh.
over here. A lot less rules.
Well, let me ask you that. What got better? So that I love the way you kind of gradually progressed, and
Yeah,
I imagine like as a husband and a father, the crazier things get. I feel the same way. Like I'm just like,
yeah,
what do I need to do to take care of my family? Maybe I
yeah,
need to just get the hell out of here. So I love that you
yeah,
you had the courage to do that. What
yeah.
changed for you? You said things are much better. In what ways is it better where you're living now
Okay.
than it was like in the city? What's gotten better?
Uh, just living in the state or in where I live
In
right now.
general, yeah,
In
in the
general,
woods, in the state, yeah.
oh man, in the woods, I can just open this door over here and shoot something right now. I
Most
cannot do
American
it.
thing I've ever heard. Be like, I could shoot off my port. Yeah,
Yeah,
that would be nice.
I
Yeah.
could piss out there. Only the sheep will see me. I split my own wood. Uh, uh,
That's a
yeah,
t-shirt,
that's
man. I can piss and
yeah,
shoot off my porch.
yeah, yeah. Where do you live? Yeah, right. It is a lot darker here. You know, there's no street lights. It is
Oh,
dark. It
yeah.
is real dark. I saw you do that DNT Hydra, and I've been looking into
Yeah, yeah,
that. My
yeah.
uncle got an AGM, and he gave me his old FLIR. So I've got something, but it's
Yeah.
not as new. You know, it's 10-year-old FLIR.
I
They're
can't
so
wait to get that
expensive.
thermal into the woods, but part of me
Yeah.
is a little bit nervous of what I might see. Like when you're in
Oh
the
yeah.
dark, you don't know what you don't know. But I'm worried
Right.
that I'm gonna like pull that thermal up and see like something all
Yeah.
around me. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. You'll see it. I see it all the time.
See some eyes coming looking back at me. But
Right.
what about like quality of life? I mean, for your
Uh,
wife, for your kids, like what got better for them?
so much better. I've well now this year we'll be eating a lot of what I grow here too. Taxes are lower. The attitude of the people, it's almost like I moved down south almost in
Mm.
comparison to where we were. So I
Well,
don't
you're
have
not
to.
really south. You just came like over, right? To
I came
Michigan.
over and south maybe an hour, you know, over and just down a little. I'm kind
Yeah, yeah.
of southwest, but the temperature, it's warmer than where I was, believe it or not. We had the coldest winter in 100 years or something here this year. We hit -18. That was the worst we got so
Mm.
far since I've been here. Um, people, yeah, people are nicer, less taxes, less laws, cheaper gas. Um, wow, I don't, it's so much different. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
A whole different world almost. All I did was move over a few states, you know?
yeah. I'm originally from Southern California, and the
Oh,
older I get, the I just have no desire to go back. Even when we had our first kid, we went back once to visit,
yeah.
and just the smog and the traffic and the concrete and the
Yeah.
it was I knew I never, and at the time we were living in Alaska, and Alaska sounds a lot like Michigan. I mean,
Yeah.
and I was in Fairbanks, like the middle of Alaska. It was cold, that's the cold place.
Yeah.
And I remember it was like the Wild West, man. Like the Air
Yeah.
Force base I was on, you could drive across the street and start shooting stuff. Like everybody had guns, everybody
Yeah.
had a bow all the time. Like I loved it. It was just such a wild place.
Yeah.
And it was great. I loved it.
My
And right now I live in Washington State, which
yeah.
Washington kind of sucks. Like you said, the laws that they're passing every year, it seems like, it just gets
Yeah.
tighter and tighter. It just feels like someone just choking the air out of you. Every little thing they're trying to tax, they're in your
Yeah.
pocket all the time. And
Oh, yeah.
yeah, well, that's
And my
encouraging, man. That's inspiring a little bit. Go ahead.
yeah, yeah, yeah. My wife spent almost a year over in San Diego.
Yeah.
She was down there. She used to walk across the border. She's like, "Oh, I can walk across the border and get medication in Tijuana or whatever." I was like, "Really?" That's
The,
pretty cool. But the rest of it, yeah, she was paying outrageous prices for a little while over there.
mm,
It
yeah.
was crazy. Yeah, this is just so much. I mean, I felt like, well, and then I spent a lot of time growing up towards Albany in New York, and when I lived in Westchester, and then I lived down, you know, in the city with people for a few, but you know, you grow up around a lot of people and everybody knows everybody, and the problem you had because you beat somebody's brother up because, you know, they mess with you, but you beat someone. So now it was constantly felt like I was looking behind my back because everything escalates over here. But I've seen people over here punch each other and then go get a beer. Like, what? Like,
That's the way
this
it
is
should
stuff I've
be. Yeah.
heard of. I've heard of
Right.
this, but I've never seen it.
On TV. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let me ask you, Andy,
Yeah.
you run a channel. Do you consider yourself a prepper? It sounds like you're into a lot of different things. Do you
Yeah.
consider, would you call yourself a prepper, and why?
I, I think I started out more survivalist, but
Okay.
I don't know, you know, because I started out with all the fighting stuff since I was 15, and then just got more and more into it. We still teach church securities once in a while for a side job. Survivalist, prepper, homesteader, kind of maybe mashed into one now because I mean now I'm out here and I've got meat on the hoof right there. I got deer running through the back if I want.
Yeah.
There's rabbits all over the place. So I feel more, I don't know, because I got into the bushcraft stuff too. So,
Yeah.
and then I got so far wrapped up in these guns. My gosh, and so yeah, I don't know which way to. I don't know what I would call it. I mean, I just bought more mason jars because I'm going to be canning a whole bunch more stuff. So that's still prepper, right? Or is
Yeah,
it
I think so.
homestead? Or yeah,
I feel like that too. Like as a prepper, I'm a little bit into a lot of things.
yeah, yeah.
So um, even on my channel too, I feel like I never run out of ideas because it's just I'm
Oh,
always learning something new and figuring out some new piece of kit or new gear or new concept. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I never run out. So, um,
yeah,
and I did see on your channel you had one video that like 1.2 million views. Was it that Glock
yeah,
26, the 45? Tell me
yeah.
about that, man. I was looking at your channel. I was like,
That
holy
was
crap, he's
Yeah, it was stupid though because it was my friend's gun. We went to a gun show. They had these Korean magazines that were extended that had, one or two more than the regular Glock one. It was
yeah.
45 ACP. And I'm just like, I'm holding it up. I'm talking about how stupid it was. A 2-minute video. Like, I can't believe this. Pow, 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 pow. I'm like, this is crazy. And then like people from Russia started just writing me like respect from Russia and all this stuff. And I'm like, okay. And then it took about 2 or 3 years, and then it just started going up.
Oh, really? So that
Yeah.
that had been posted a while before it blew up?
Oh yeah, that video is probably 11 or 12 years ago, and it
Wow.
started really going up. I don't even know how long ago. It was a couple years after I posted it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
So that was
crazy.
different.
I still find myself just completely guessing on the
Right.
algorithm. Like I have no idea when I post a video if it's going to
Yeah.
do well. I'm getting better at learning what my audience wants to see,
Right.
but
Yeah.
what's going to do really well, sometimes they take off and sometimes I have no idea.
Flop.
It's
Yeah.
like magic. Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah, some of it might be wording, some of it could be thumbnails. Some people, I mean, I did so many videos of talking, and I had a Rumble channel too, so I was doing Rumble for a little while. And it seems like some stuff over there was a little different than over here. And you could
Huh.
say whatever you want on Rumble, guns all
That's
you
what I heard.
want. I mean, on live stream, sitting there, bang, bang, bang. I mean, nobody, it doesn't matter. There's
Wow.
like no restrictions.
Yeah.
Impossible to get a sub over there, or they call them
Oh, really?
followers. Oh man, I got 500 videos over there, or something with like 200 followers, or something like
Oh,
that.
wow.
But I did for a little while. There was a big hook on the numbers. I started posting videos, and I got some of them on YouTube, but they kicked my video off. I did like a 75 round drum on a mini Draco with a binary trigger, the whole thing
Oh,
on
sounds amazing.
YouTube. Yeah, it was fun. On YouTube and Rumble, they both went up like I think 150,000 views a piece that weekend that I
Huh.
posted it. And
Wow.
they just slammed me on YouTube, gave me a strike. They had just changed it over to 30 round magazines or something. And I think I got paid 180 bucks for it on Rumble.
Hmm.
But then somewhere in there, I mean, I was making a couple grand a month on Rumble, and then all of a sudden, I went down to like 5 cents a month. And I was like, "Well, I can't afford that. Yeah, this
That's a
ammo is
huge
too
pay
much."
cut. Wow.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah,
it was fun.
I'm trying to make a go of it.
Yeah,
I would like it if this became sustainable. You know what I mean?
yeah.
But
Oh
part of me
yeah,
does get nervous about that because things change so quickly, and I've seen other
fluctuations.
channels just get nuked, and people's income go from making a living to
Yeah,
nothing.
yeah,
So that does make me nervous that you're at the whim of the YouTube overlords, whoever they are, wherever they are. I have no
yeah.
idea what they think, what they want, what they don't like. I don't even, I haven't even ever read the rules, like what I'm supposed to do and what I'm not supposed to do. My watchers tell me in the comments sometimes. They're like, "Hey man, you don't do that. Don't do that
Right,
thing. You're gonna get a strike." But I really have no idea how it works. So
right.
I'm playing it's a risky game to try and make a living online, I guess. But
Yeah, you'd have to do. I mean, I did some affiliate stuff, and I've had companies send me some stuff, and still send them. Like I got an Amazon affiliate, but like now these new tag product things, they show a lot higher. What is it called? Like a commission or something like that.
mhm,
But I tagged a couple things. Nobody ever seemed to look
bye.
at it. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I don't really get much from Amazon. I make enough to like pay for Amazon Prime every month. Probably that's about it.
Yeah.
But Yeah. I've seen the people get new like that tactical toolbox. He was just talking about getting
Yes. Yeah,
smacked.
that's the guy I was thinking of, and
Oh,
he
no
put out a
kidding.
video. He
Yeah.
was devastated. Like I get his channel. He's got over 1 million subs or
Yeah.
something. He does really well, but I think
Yeah.
they told him he had to take all of the affiliates and sponsors off of his videos, which I think that's his
Yeah.
sole sources of income right now.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That scares me.
That's scary. Yeah. As far as a side gig, this is probably not too bad. I don't know how I don't know. I started out, I had a big hookup, and then
Hmm.
somewhere in there it just fell off, and now I get maybe 30 subs a month or something. Nothing really crazy. Never really
Yeah.
had videos hit too good. I don't know if I've gotten 2 strikes now, or I got a couple warnings, and yeah,
Do strikes go away or do they just
yeah,
stack
they
up?
fall off. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
unless you get them stacked up right next to each other. So the last time they hit me for it was a training video. I got warnings for doing knife training too, like using a rubber knife. This was before,
What?
but yeah, one of my big buddies were fighting and he's trying to stab me with a knife and I'm moving out of the way. I'm, smashing it
Yeah,
into
yeah.
his leg. It was like violent, something violence, weapons used in violence or so whatever. So they try to hit me. They give me a warning. Next thing you know, I get another email, another email. So now the 2 warnings pop another strike, then another warning. So I
Oh
started
man.
just going in and unlisting all my stuff real quick, and then I wrote them like, "Hey, what's going on?" They were like,
Yeah.
and they came up with a whole thing like, "We took 100 of your videos off. We just like, you gotta be kidding me," you know what I
Wow.
mean? So it's like it's been kind of a grind, but it's kind of been fun too. I got to meet a lot of people. I went on Prepper Nation when he had his 50th subscriber, 50,000 subscribers. I got on that Beaver Bash or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, yeah.
So I've been on, and a couple of my buddies, Therapy Range. He has a channel here, and he has a bigger channel on Rumble.
Okay.
So I met a lot of people. I still go down and see him down towards Kentucky every April. I go down for a gun and knife show down there to hang out and whatever for the weekend. So I got to meet a lot of people. I had a lot of fun. I got invited to TriggerCon. I went down to Kansas and shot all the full autos and the suppressors,
Oh
and
yeah. I've seen footage of that thing.
I love it.
Now that event in Kentucky, is it the Resilience Expo or something? The
No, it's like on the border of Kentucky and Ohio. It's actually, I think it's Mount Orb. I think that's Ohio, considered Ohio right there, but it's
Okay.
like right there somewhere, and it's a show he puts on. It's just like there's no shoot. I mean, after the weekend we'll go shooting or something, but it's just like a hunting, fishing,
Okay.
gun, knife, flea market ish sports show and a little arena over there, whatever.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Expo
got
Center
a
or something.
I got an
Yeah.
email from a guy who invited me to it was like the Resilience Expo or something like that in Kentucky
Oh,
coming up here pretty soon, but I'm not able to fly out there.
yeah, yeah.
What do you no, we've been talking about YouTube as a little bit of a side hustle and generating some revenue, but do you work a regular job? Like are you in yeah, what
Yeah.
do you do for a living if you don't mind me asking?
I okay. I could explain it to you. There's not too many places that do it in the world.
I love that.
But
Well, now you got me curious.
okay, so in a lot of machine shops they'll have CNC or switch machine, lathes, mills, whatever. You spit out a part, it's like plus or minus 10 thou or something like that. So I have to take the part and I've got a foot pedal and I hold on to the part on like a drill almost. It's a hone, a
Yeah,
sun and hone,
yeah.
and I'll hold it and I'll cut it down to we'll say like 2/10 of a thousandth of an inch. And I'll take that part in and have to ream it out, whatever, rehone it, and then go back in and lap it. So I'm lapping it. How do I explain everything all together? That's kind of a speed lathe.
Hmm.
You have foot pedal and you're turning it and you're still it's almost like jerking metal off all day. It's kind of weird. 'Cause you just
I was
you're
gonna say
just
that's gonna be the thumbnail. You're gonna be like,
yeah,
explain it
yeah.
to me.
What's this? But yeah, so we do parts for so I'm matching like a piston to a sleeve. So I get the ring lapped piston. I gotta make this sleeve 80 millionths to a tenth and 20 millionths clearance for them to be able to fit.
Oh,
And the part has to be between 10 millionths and 30 million. It's like splitting a hair 250 times or
oh
something.
my
But you see it
gosh.
on a gauge, real, it could drive you insane. They want you
Yeah.
there 20 hours a day, 7 days a week. Like I today I woke up at 2:30 and it's Saturday. I woke up at 2:30 to go to work for
Holy
a few.
crap!
They're freaking right out. But once you get good, they're like, here's some more money. Here's some more money. Oh, you can.
Yeah,
And I'm doing parts for like F-35s, F-16s,
that's what I was going to ask. Are
Abrams
these parts for
tanks, and
aircraft? It sounds like precision
yeah,
parts for aircraft. Yeah.
yeah, and tank parts, and oh man, yeah, all of that. No, we do medical at that building. I think we do a little bit of automotive, but a lot of it, like we got a whole bunch of new 747 stuff to do now also,
So
and
you're a machinist.
kind of, but I don't know how to run a CNC. I don't. I just take the parts. I take the parts they give me, and then I turn them.
You're a
Try to make
post
their
machinist. Yeah.
try to make their shit shine. Or I don't know if I should swear or not, but
You're
sorry
fine.
about
You're fine.
that.
You're fine.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's
You're
about
you're a machinist perfectionist. You perfect the parts that machinists produce.
pretty much, yeah. And there's
I
only a few places that do it, so we get
yeah.
tons of work.
Oh my
Tons of
gosh.
work.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
precision on that sounds insane. I so in the Air Force, I was we called it allied trades. I was a body man, and
Okay.
we went to Aberdeen Proving Grounds in Maryland. It was an munitions post. And they would like the building we worked in where we welded and fabricated, like the whole building would shake from the bombs that were going off. It was just all day every
Jeez.
day. But in our dorm where we lived, we had allied trades, which we did body work, upholstery, we did glass repair. At the time, we did radiator repair, and we did 6 weeks of welding. So we did arc, MIG, and we never did TIG. We did oxyacetylene, and then so a bunch of we had allied trades, which were body men, and then in the same building though, because at the same facility, they trained all the machinists. So the two fields, the two AFSCs, we call them the two job fields in the Air Force, were we were adjacent to each other. So we worked next to machinists. I think they eventually got rid of machinists in the Air Force,
Okay.
but they got rid of my career field too. But I had a huge appreciation for machinists and the work that they did. In fact, when I found out I was a body man, I really wanted to be, as I worked next to them, I wanted to be a machinist my whole life, but I never got into it. But
Right.
yeah, that's cool
Small
work, man.
numbers. Yeah,
Now,
yeah, it's all right.
let
Yeah.
me ask you this: it's such precision. Is there? You might know I talk a little bit about AI on my channel. Is there any chance that you'll be replaced by AI? It doesn't sound like you could be, but are you? Is it at risk?
Oh yeah, we just got this new machine.
Oh, of course. Yeah, a new
Yes,
robot.
yes. And we bought the cheapest one. It might only be 150,000, and I think to do 10 different parts, it was like another 150,000 for the tooling. But yeah, it can. Right now, they can make the parts 30 millionths, but
Hmm.
they can't match it to the size of the spool yet. So,
You think
yeah.
that's coming?
They bought the cheapest machine. I'm sure if they bought the better one, they
The
could get
most
a lot
expensive one?
closer. And it does 8 parts at a time.
How many do you do?
One.
Sorry, man. So, do you do you so are you anticipating a career change before too long? I mean, I'm
Oh
sure you're
yeah.
you're a prepper, so you're probably thinking ahead a little bit. What are you
Oh
thinking
yeah.
about? Do you have how many more years of work do you have ahead of you, and what are you thinking your work's going to look like down the road?
I guess it depends on how the war stuff goes on. I
Yeah,
mean, I
right.
don't, and if the lights are still on, because I mean, I was big into the stocks for a little while. I liked collecting the dividends and trying to put as much in and get as much back as often as possible. There's a lot of taxes involved with that kind of stuff, but at the same time, you get taxed from your paycheck anyways.
Right.
Um, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how it's going to work out. I've been
Mm,
trying to think of a million different things, but like every time, like we had those attacks over here in Michigan, what yesterday it was, or something
yeah.
like that at the synagogue. Every time something like that happens, we get calls for our one of the little side gigs I try to do is training church
Hmm.
securities with one of my
Nice.
buddies. So we end up getting a couple new calls from that every time something happens. That would be nice to do something like that. Um, I was a rifle instructor for a while up until COVID, and it was just like every class I posted sold out, and it was so cool. And then after COVID, I mean,
Oh, really?
it fell off, and it fell off so bad. But now I'm starting to hear more people again. Um, I haven't decided. Used to have a FFL too with one of my buddies, and it would be fun to do some manufacturing of some sort. That might be
Yeah.
kind of cool. Do something
Yeah,
like
that's
that
what I was
because
thinking. Like your field lends itself to gunsmithing for sure, you know.
some sort of gunsmithing or even accurate. I could accurize a barrel because the average barrel on like not saying that I measured any of this or did any of this or whatever, but a Glock 19
Hypothetically, yeah,
is like a thou and a half spread, and I make stuff 30 millions.
much more
So
precise, right?
if it would help accuracy, because they call some stuff double lap, they take these things and just ram them down twice and then hand them off. I could sit there with compound and make it like glass, like.
Yeah,
And
all
I
the way
wonder
down.
if that would work or something, something like that. Who
Mhm.
knows? That might be an idea. Aside from that though, yeah, I don't know. It's I got so much wood here. I got walnut. I sold some walnut trees. I've got I could sell firewood for a few years probably without
Yeah,
interrupting my own amount of wood. I'm
and
surrounded
then
by 300 acres off the
on
I mean,
your
yeah,
property,
backside, yeah. Yeah.
nice.
That-
And then I mean, is your family working towards kind of being self-sustained, right? I mean, you're talking about homesteading. Are you gonna
Yeah,
could you see yourself getting to a place where you had enough food and you had enough, to live
yeah.
off without having to work?
Yeah, I forget how many sheep it takes exactly if you were just going to go for protein with sheep to sustain 8 people. I think it was like 26 sheep, like indefinitely, because they always have two. So as long as you keep
Oh,
at least two
doubling.
males, yeah, yeah. So it goes up, and then you can slaughter 3 or 4 a month or whatever you needed. And then this year we did some digging in the back on the side of the range. We didn't know if we were gonna put a pond right there or a pond further in the back corner. I got like a runoff pond kind of thing on the side. No fish though. It's kind of swampy that little spot. I'd like to get a spot to do fish.
Hmm.
And then with growing as much as I can, and what I found out too with having a sheep is, hey, oh yeah, wow, that's a thing. I had to buy that all winter. That was fun. And so butchering an extra one of them or whatever, but that way it's one less mouth to feed.
Yeah.
Um, but I found these things called fodder beets, and it's like a half acre is enough to feed 80% of the diet to like 30 cows for the winter. Like,
Wait,
okay,
fodder beet
yeah,
to feed the animals.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So this way here, I won't have to. I'm worried if the power goes out, I can't. Maybe I can, but I know the Amish get some of theirs moved in. We got Amish over here, so I go down to them to get hay usually.
Nice. Yeah.
And if everything's closed down, how do I feed the sheep? I don't want to have to shoot them all real quick and
Right. Right.
store it all up or whatever. I'd rather keep them alive and keep them going. So I've been looking at different ways of setting everything up to. I mean, and I don't have regular solar. I got a few little power banks sent to me, whatever they charge all my flashlights and do all that kind of stuff. But
Yeah.
it wouldn't be enough. I do have a wood stove. I could keep heat in the house. I got a 2,500 square foot wood stove, and the house is like 1150. So it's not. I mean, it's pretty open house and everything, and most of it
Yeah.
goes upstairs. You stay real warm upstairs all winter, that's for sure. It was actually kind of hot a couple times, but to become self sufficient, I really want to try this year with growing everything. Doing some raised bed stuff right now.
Hmm.
I should get another piece of equipment in to kind of level the back out and get the rest of the construction stuff out of the way. Open up the sheep's pen a little bit more. I think I would really like to not go to the store after like this fall, but
Yeah.
I gotta be able to preserve everything for all the time. You know what I mean? That'd be my biggest problem. Probably the wife still wants chocolate, probably. So there'll be
For sure.
some of that
Growing
going on.
cocoa. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, I don't know. And then I don't know how to grow rice. I was trying to find out if I could do some greenhouse thing to grow rice, but how would you get enough rice? So
Yeah.
I keep buying rice. I've been buying rice since it was like $4 for a 25-pound bag or something, and now it's like 17. So I'm still once in a while. I'm like, I'm not buying rice for 3 months or so. I'll go open up a bag if I need to. One of my
Yeah.
Mylars, and oh, that one's from 2025, Dad. Oh, that or 2025. Oh, I can't even
2021
think.
probably.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
something like that. 4 or 5 years old, whatever it
Yeah.
was, and
Perfect.
yeah. So I got a bunch of that. I got a bunch of stuff boxed, and I cache a ton of stuff, not just here, but I have a few buddies.
Can you talk a little bit about you said you train churches on security. That's pretty
Yep.
interesting to me. Um,
Yep.
can you talk a little bit about that? Like, and I know churches are increasingly becoming targets for some of
Yeah.
this, this kind of sporadic violence or sleeper
Yeah.
cells or whatever, however you want to phrase it. But can you talk a
Yeah.
little bit about that? Like when do churches come to you, and then what does that training look like? Like, how do you help them be more secure?
Uh, it depends on how long we have. Some of them want to do like a 4 hour thing. Some want an 8 hour thing. Some of them want 2 8 hour days. Or I mean, I don't care if we do 12 hour day. I'm used to a 12
Yeah.
hour day. It's kind of normal for me. And then some of them want us to come down and then go back again 3 months later, especially when we had just trained one down. Well, we've done a couple since then, but we trained one down in Indiana and they had an incident and they were able to like shut it down before anything started. And they like called us the same day, like, hey, we would have never caught that if we didn't,
Wow.
you guys hadn't come down. So they got their own little security groups and a lot of them are armed and, the competent ones maybe we'll say are armed. None of them, I don't think I really went to any. I think one of them, one of the churches had like a guy who used to box. Maybe one had an old wrestler or something. But
Right.
try to get them to work as a team, kind
Hmm.
of, and what to look out for because a lot of it is trying to catch the stuff before it happens. And then we run them through scenarios. We do a whole slide presentation for maybe like the first hour or something, going over everything, and then have them all work together and kind of shoot, move, and communicate, I guess you'd say, like nice and
Yeah.
loud. You're verbalizing everything the whole time because nobody knows this is happening right here unless someone's like, gun or knife or,
Right.
whatever. And then teach them how to secure their building, having one way in, one way out during services and stuff like that. And
Mm.
just pretty much staying. I had to really think about, alert enough to pay attention to something if it's going to happen. It's probably like one of
Yeah.
the biggest things with any of that. Whether you're walking down that night off your bus on the way home, you say you did that thing where you kind of stopped off to the side and look, and it's
The Crazy Ivan
it's,
and the Maverick.
yeah.
Yeah.
But that kind of stuff. I mean, I lived in cities my whole life. You don't know if they're actually following you or not till you get punched or someone grabs you or whatever.
Yeah.
Especially if you're when I was younger, I didn't look, I didn't care, nothing mattered.
Yeah.
Grab me, come on, we'll fight. But
Right. Right.
as you get older, you're kind of like, man, I really don't want to fight
I
tonight.
don't want to get grabbed. Yeah.
Exactly. And getting caught by surprise is like the worst thing. And it's the easiest way to get knocked out if you're not ready
Yeah.
for it. Bink, and then But
Take it out.
as far as the church security, yeah, I've got a big buddy. I trained up when I first moved out here. I had a friend. I met a guy through my dad and his son. He's a monster. He's like a 300 pound, six
Hmm.
foot four Viking.
Oh,
You'll see him in some of my videos. He's got a big long beard and everything. And
yeah.
yeah, so I beat him up for a little while, and then he
Yeah, I think I
started
saw you
learning.
fighting him in one of your videos.
Yeah, probably like a self-defense video, but
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
some of those videos kind of like worked and then some of them didn't. And then we made fun of other people who did self-defense videos because like the kind of like the myth stuff because so many people have an idea of what they're gonna do, but like Mike Tyson says, everybody's got a plan until you get punched in the face. Well,
Right.
if you're not used to being punched in the face, yeah, your plans go out the window. I mean, I broke this thing, dude. I think 7 times
You're like,
total.
look at it. Holy
Yeah,
crap.
yeah, yeah. I've had it broken up. It's fun, but you get used to stuff. Now, if I get punched in the face, it was just pow.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you either pissed me off or something. But I'm usually pretty low, mellow. I'm paying attention, but I'm not like I was when I was younger. I used to be just
Yeah.
a yeah, the whole bag of chips on both shoulders and
A
on my
rat,
back and head, and yeah, I didn't even
a
care. It was like, what'd you
rapscallion. Yeah.
say? Yeah, yeah, didn't even
Yeah.
care. And over there, it was like it was just like that anyway, so it didn't matter. But now I can just kind of now my worst thing is if I don't even know one of these bad windstorms or a tornado throws a cow into my house or something. It would be
Right. Right.
yeah.
That's your worst day.
Yeah, we did
Um.
have someone show up one time over here since we've been here at like 10 o'clock at night, and everybody's like, oh, dad, someone's out there. I was like, oh, no,
Oh,
I got
really?
the kids here. Yeah, and
Yeah.
I got lights on most of my stuff, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna and I drank NyQuil. I'd been asleep for 2 days or 2 hours already, and
Hmm.
I had been so sick, but he just came, he just kind of looked around at the front of the house, smoking a cigarette, hopped back in his truck and left. So I'm like, I don't want no problems. I got a couple signs out, but yeah, I don't
Wow.
know. Yeah, yeah. I'd rather just
You
lay back.
have you ever thought, that church security thing,
Yeah,
you might
yeah.
be able to turn that into like an e-learning, like a online course and sell it that
Yeah.
way?
Yeah,
You
we
know,
thought about doing that, like a PDF thing or a
like a
or
package with
yeah.
your slideshow and a couple videos, instructional videos, and sell it as a package to churches,
Yeah,
further
we
reach than doing it in person. But Just a thought.
We had thought about that, like a digital product, or doing it as like, what is that, teachable or whatever that we
Hmm.
looked into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I know
Yeah. I'll
Warrior. I think Warrior
yeah.
Poet Society. I think he does that too. He actually has a. I don't know if it's a. I think it's a nonprofit, but he does some
Oh.
training for churches too.
Yep.
You know, he's
Yep. I've
he's a
seen
cool
that.
guy operator, but
Oh yeah.
you know, maybe I don't know how much his course costs, but yours might be cheaper. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. I could make it a
Yeah.
lot cheaper.
Yeah. I'll cut it in half. I'll do it for
Yeah. A quarter
5,000.
of the
Yeah.
price.
Um,
Yeah.
do you have so you kind of consider yourself a prepper? You've got, you know, uh, you're into a lot of different areas. Do you have a group? Do you have a group of guys like a mag or a whatever you want to call it, an
Yeah.
areola of trust? Do you have a group of guys? Can you talk a little bit
Yeah.
about maybe how you came to have that group? Because I know that's really the end goal, it seems, of a lot of preppers
Right.
is community. Can you
Yep.
talk a little bit about that? What that means for
Yeah.
you?
The one guy that I was the big Viking dude, my buddy
Yeah.
Jason there, I met, he was the first one around here that I met and started training with and stuff. And he kind of
He's
felt the
a
same
he's a
way.
good first choice, by the way.
He's a
It's like when you're picking
monster.
teams, like I'll pick
Oh
that
yeah.
guy.
Yeah, yeah. Give me the bullet magnet. I could hide behind him.
Give me the Viking. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. Hand to hand. It's crazy.
that's funny.
And then yeah, a couple other guys, and we have gone through. Oh my gosh. We were doing the concealed carry courses, so I'm an assistant instructor for that, and we had met so many people, and everybody like, hey, you know anybody this or that, another thing. Got on some different groups. I was on Southern Prepper One's page for a meetup for in our local area. So I went down
Oh,
to the one
nice.
city, met a couple people. Most of that didn't work out. A lot of people wanted to talk about stuff and not kind of do it. Like once it comes to a little bit of work, and then your trust factor, like I could call a couple of people right now, they'd come over whenever, and I'd run up there if there's a problem. And
Yeah,
everybody's got kids, so you don't want too many weirdos around. But we've met a lot of people, and I've gone to some Second Amendment rallies. I was going for a few years there. Micah from 2A EDU, I've met him a couple times. So I met a lot of the people kind of in the area that, and then at gun ranges. I met a couple guys. My dad's a preacher man, so I met a couple
hmm,
guys at some of his groups. Um, and it's just starting out as, hey, you guys should come out, or come over for a barbecue, or do this or do
yeah,
that, or and everybody starts talking. Someone might say, the world's getting kind of crazy. I'm like, really? Tell me
yeah.
about it.
Talk to me about that.
But
Reptilians, you say? Yeah,
I try not to throw everything out there all at once, but then like sometimes like I got shell casings tattooed on my arm. They're like, "Oh, you shoot," and I'm like, yeah, obviously I shoot a little bit." And then if people are, "Oh yeah, come on, train with us sometime." We train, out in the forest or whatever. Okay, so I go with 10 dudes I just meet people while I was out in the forest, because I do a lot of I guess they call it rucking. I didn't know it was rucking, but I do like hiking with the. I got a pack, and I run with a rifle or a pistol or
yeah,
whatever I'm doing. Usually my AR pistol or something, because it's lighter. The
yeah.
ounces equal pounds thing.
That's right.
And yeah, after like 20 miles, man, I'm not getting any younger. And it's like, geez. And then I met up with all these people that were like gonna save the world. And we all met. It was about 2 miles out into the forest when I went to just to meet as many people as I could. And about half of them didn't bring water. And then like not even a granola bar, but they had a joint. Are you
Oh
kidding me,
shoot,
dude?
that's so funny.
And then everybody's like, "Well, we should all, make sure we're sighted in here before we let." 25 yards, couldn't hit a piece of paper.
Yeah.
These are like militia dudes and stuff. Like, oof,
Wow.
like yeah. And there was, that was there's so many different times that and it was. I think
What was your big takeaway from that? I mean, you probably were going to this group like I'm going to meet some guys who are doing the
teach me
things and they're
something.
training, they're
Yeah,
prepared. Like these are the
yeah.
guys I want. And then you
And
saw
then,
that. Like, what did it teach you? Like, what was your takeaway?
oh my gosh, man, I, I mean, even with okay, so I did a little bit with some SWAT, and I did some with some sheriffs, and I did some with some police around here, and then some ex-military. Meeting those guys though was so I don't even know how to put it. They were just so unprepared for what they think they could do. They had plates on, and they
Yeah.
were like, already tired from 2 miles or something. Like, why wear plates? I started feeling light because you're just gonna die tired, and you know what I mean. Uh, I actually sold my plates, like I think it was like the weekend after or something. I had level fours, front, back, side
Yeah,
pieces.
for
Thought I was
sure.
gonna,
Yeah.
but when you go run around with the mags on it, and oh man, I don't know how much shooting you really done with the barricade shooting. You drop down onto your chest, and the magazines are in your ribs. You can't, yeah,
Got your
yeah.
double
Oh,
stack on, and you're like, oh shit,
jeez, yeah, you can't
like a
move.
turtle. Yeah.
If movement's the key to life, whether you're fighting, shooting, just getting old, anything, and you can't move,
Yeah.
I'm not going to
Got
weigh
30
myself
pounds of
down.
steel on you.
And I saw lights fall off. I saw optics fall off. I saw slings break. One guy's belt broke when trying to run around. Like you don't. I got paracord in my bag. You need some? Like I don't know.
Like,
Like basic stuff to me.
actually, I'm very thirsty. Can I have some water, please?
Well, I don't know, man. I only brought 5 bottles for myself, and it's hot outside. Don't you have a filter? There's a stream down there.
Yeah.
A
I guess.
filter.
I mean, I
Just
guess
like,
that's the lesson, right? A lot of guys think about it. A lot of guys talk about it,
uh,
but fewer and fewer guys go and do the things, right?
yeah,
Um,
that's the thing.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I feel like. That's the thing. And once it gets hard, I don't even know. I could ask my friend. I know it's probably not quite about 100 people, maybe say 80 people or something.
Mhm.
We've gotten together outside of who we have now. We have a fairly small group right now, but that we've gone and done stuff with. It was probably more than that, but we had people that were starting to actually kind of, I don't want to say initiation or anything like that, but like started really kind of hanging out with a little bit more.
Yeah.
And it was like, hey, we're splitting firewood next weekend for so and so, and then we can all go at one time and finish their firewood, finish his firewood. We could just rotate
Yeah.
through and hang out and whatever. So a lot of people wanted to show up for like range time. Nobody really wanted to do any hand to hand stuff or really learn too much. Maybe a couple people. And tactics just seemed stupid because they weren't shooting guns. Um, like even simple breaking contact stuff, you should have seen a couple times, man. Just like basic group something. You try some of the soot stuff, the single unit tactics, but you want to, or small unit tactics. You want to try to work together as a team a little bit.
Yeah.
You're a team, and then some stuff we want to do like a security thing in one spot, and other people are going to be helping feed everybody. It's not always fun. It's not always. I mean, if all the power goes out, I don't know how much fun everybody's going to have, but I know I got a pile of sheep. I probably the worst thing I think of, it'd probably be a while before anybody came out here, I would imagine. But I'd probably have to like protect my sheep or something. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Be the
Because
first
that's
base.
like one of my food sources, and I could go tuck everything else somewhere else or whatever. I mean, if my house completely gets burned out, I could go to my buddy's house. I got stuff out that way, or one of my
Yeah.
other buddies, and we all kind of have it takes a bit of time, really, I guess, to feel like you could really trust somebody. I wouldn't
Yeah.
just say like, yeah, come on over and we could whatever. So I've done stuff with people that were starting to come into us where they were like, I don't have much room in my place. It's an apartment, but I want to stack, I want to get some freeze dried stuff and I got nowhere to
Yeah.
put it. And I said, well, we could go on one of these properties and dig a hole. Like, how much stuff do you got? And so they don't feel bad or whatever, and they know,
Hmm.
it helps build the trust. Like, well, I'm getting 5 buckets. Okay, I've got 5 buckets. You want to put them in a hole together? So if something happens to me or something happens to you, the vice versa, the other family can
Use it.
benefit from having it or something. So it helps with the trust thing too, because now you got somebody who's doing that, and they're bringing a case of ammo too that they want to stash somewhere or whatever. Not saying it's all like here or anything, but
Secret trust cache. I love that.
well,
You're
I
like,
mean, it
hey, do you want
seemed
to
to.
bury some food together, bro?
Yeah. Well, it gets people thinking though. Now they've got like a food insurance. Like if anything goes wrong, I know I could whip up that way, and
Yeah.
as long as that still works out by that time. Otherwise, we'll go dig it up together if it's not working out for you, and you could take yours. I'll take mine. No big deal. There's no force to anything. I mean, really, it's just I kind of like how Bear Independent says, do kind of try to do life together a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Takes
kind of
time.
like that idea. Yeah. So everybody I hang out with pretty much is part of my little group, I guess you'd
Yeah.
call it. It's not. it's not that big, and we've got kind of that circles outside of circles, you know, like a main circle, and then a couple other little groups that we kind of get along with, and it's kind of nice when there's some construction, something like I said, I'm going to need another skid steer. One of the other guys that we know up the way, he's got a skid steer, and he might just come down and run it for me, help me level the back out a little bit, push
Yeah,
the berm up some, and so it's kind of, and then whenever he needs help, I helped his dad. Last year. So I mean, it's kind of nice having someone that you can. I don't know. I think a community thing is going to be huge because I mean, my mom
yeah,
could garden pretty good. The kids, whatever. But you're going to need someone doing something all the time. And then like these fodder beets, I got to try them out this year, see if it works. They're easy to store. They store for 6 to 8 months in a ventilated area.
mm,
I got the mammoth ones that are huge, so you know they grow 2 feet. Some of them, you know, so I
yeah,
can slowly introduce them to the sheep and then whatever. So now if I know how to do it, my wife learns a little bit and my mom can learn or something that, well, we know we could take that and keep the sheep alive. We got some rain
yeah.
catchment stuff. So we still got it. And if I need to open up a couple more acres for the sheep to run and put some water back there for them. But as long as there's like a little self-sustaining something, I'll feel better. Like that way, if I die, the grandkid, I know they're going to be able to feed them or
It's
something, you
something,
know?
right? Yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
crazy, but
I feel like
yeah.
with community, and more people are realizing that. I remember, 15 years ago on even on
Oh yeah.
YouTube, it was the lone wolf was the thing, right?
Huge. Yeah.
And you can't do everything. You can't know
No,
everything. You can't learn everything.
no.
At some point, you're going to have to rely on the
Somebody.
wisdom or the experience or the
Yeah.
gear or the food, the things of other people, the
Yeah.
resources of other people. So I love that. I love that idea. And I like that you
Every
said that it takes time and it's kind of a sifting process, right? You get a big group together,
uh,
start doing some things, and then you start to see
yeah.
probably pretty quickly, okay, well, out
Uh,
of this 50, there's 10 dudes that keep showing up, right?
yeah.
And they seem willing and they seem able and I love that sifting process. I've seen that in my own life with ministries and other things that I've done where
Right.
lots of people sign up, lots of people are interested, lots of them put their name on the thing, and then when it's time to show up, it's a smaller group. When it's time to do the work, it's even smaller. When it's time to do more work,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
that.
It's crazy. Yeah. I mean, it's and it when it's all done. I mean, now you got maybe a couple solid people. I mean, that's good. And not everybody's a GI Joe. Not everybody's. Yeah, you know, because I mean, a couple of guys. Not very good shooters, but they're good with a lot of other stuff. Really mechanically inclined, and they can start. I mean, I got a $100 old John Deere, one of those golf, the 6 foot deck mowers with that they
Yeah.
used to use on it, and they picked it up for $100. And by the time the weekend was over, they're like, "All you need is tires up and running." I'm like, "What?" Like this
Wow.
thing didn't work. So yeah, having people like that is incredible to me. And
Yeah.
plus, if nothing else, they can look out. My one buddy, he's a real estate broker and agent and property management. This guy can negotiate anything. Can't. I mean, my daughters can beat him up, but it's like he's just so good with some stuff, time management, money management, supplies, and the organization. Oh my gosh, I can't do that. I just go can it
Yeah.
all and set it over there and mark it all off, and hopefully I'm eating the old stuff first, something like
That's
that.
a
I don't.
that's a great point. Like what I've never heard anybody talk about their prepper group and talk about somebody to do the administrative, like somebody to organize and do the
Oh
time
yeah,
management, do but we're
yeah.
even with in SHTF, we're probably going to need somebody like that, right?
Oh, he's probably gonna go out there looking tough, and everybody's gonna think, "What's up with it?" I mean, he's a little bigger than me or whatever,
Yeah.
but he's gonna walk out there and explain that "Hey, there's people watching you right now. That we're gonna do this one or two ways. I'm gonna try to explain it to you. We can, he's gonna do it, and he's one of my buddies who came from New York, so I've known him since he was 12.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
He's
he's
a
negotiated.
negotiator.
Oh, he's negotiated his way out of ass whoopings like. I think only one time he got it. He got it. He couldn't get out of it. It was too late.
Got his butt beat. He
Oh,
might
did he?
he might be the most valuable person on your team in SHTF. That's funny.
Oh, it's crazy.
Oh
But
man.
and he can garden. He grows a little bit of stuff. Um, but yeah, he can also stay up all night long. The kid's just like, put him here. You see something, hit me back. Okay, fine. He'll sit
Yeah.
there and watch and make sure nothing's going on overnight, like no problem. And with me waking up at 2:30 in the morning, if we had someone, several other guys like to stay up late. So when they want to go to bed at 3 in the morning, I'm used to waking up at 2:30. Just wake me up. You go back to yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So we can hit around the clock. I mean, everybody's got to sleep. Everybody's got to shit. So it's gonna be
Yeah.
a. I mean, as long as you got
Rotation.
calories or
Right.
whatever. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So Andy, let me ask you one thing.
Yeah,
You know, I feel like I'm a pretty busy guy. I got a big family, I got a full-time
yeah,
job, and you sound like you are also very busy. How do you find time? Like it seems like you've done a lot of the things that you need to
yeah.
do to be better prepared, and how do you find the time
Time, time for what?
to do prepping stuff, like
Oh,
to land and homesteading and
yeah.
building a group?
So during the day, I just got a playlist on my phone and I listen to stuff during the day. Sometimes I do in the evening too, but I just yeah, I'm on my phone listening to people, or maybe you're on a live stream, or maybe whoever else, I'm listening to whatever it is in my pocket while I just go out and do it after work. I don't know, I've always had probably too much energy and I get bored with stuff, so I kind of like keep going. It's like you tell me you got to relax. You're gonna die young. You're gonna die young. Or retire and just die or something. So I don't know. And now that my daughters are older, yeah, I spend time with the grandkids and stuff.
Yeah.
But I'll take the kid out back with me. And last summer, I had to try to switch it up a little bit because I mowed this whole area. I got a zero turn now, saved up for one of those. That was crazy, but I can do the mowing so much faster. And there's one spot right up by the house that I had to hit with the lawnmower. I did a video on it, but I got hit with a couple bees on the head. I was like, oh, knocked them. So I remember this happening before. So when I backed up, I stepped right on the hole, and they all went up my shirt. I
Oh
think
no.
the I got my kid to ride me down towards but out here it's like a half hour to a hospital. So I got about halfway there. They said I probably wouldn't have made it. I got 100 to 200 stings or whatever. They give me
Oh
the
my gosh.
adrenaline. Swelled up. My airway was
Are
closed.
you allergic, or is it
No,
just
no. They
getting
said I
stung by
had
that many?
way too much venom because even when I got to the hospital, they said probably 15 to 100. And supposedly it's like somewhere around 20 plus stings that can start to affect people even if they're not allergic.
Okay.
So that was so like after that, I was like, all right, I'm not working 75 hours no more. I can't work 75 hours. I'm getting closer to 50 now. Sometimes I box with the 21-year-olds and stuff, and they're not tired. And like for 2 days after that, I'm like, you guys are weak. I'm like, oh, yeah, my neck is stiff or whatever. But I had to, like, life was too much. I mean, I was running a pizzeria and doing masonry back in New York. And then I come here and I'm doing 75 plus hours a week. So now I'm
Oh my
down to
gosh.
like maybe like 55, but it helped for pay for everything. My living situation from where I was, I'm paying half now being out here with the
Okay.
acreage. So it's
Okay.
crazy, but so even just having those extra maybe like 10, 20 hours a week that I was working, as long as I don't spend as much,
Yeah.
I still get the extra time to split wood or something. We're getting
Do
a
what you
log
need.
splitter this year. That my parents are like, "Well, we'll buy the log splitter. We'll come over and split it if we don't have to buy wood no more." I'm like, "Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
We can."
Deal.
But I like using the old axes. Man, it's so sweet. I love
Yeah.
doing that. Did
Yeah.
live streams doing that. That's just fun.
Well, I've thought about doing that too. Like I do axe projects, but doing a live where, I
Just
just spend the
splitting
whole time. Yeah. Just
or
from
making the
start to
axes.
finish. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Because it's a
sweet.
multi-hour project. I could
Yeah,
probably get it done in a couple hours, 2 to 3 hours, and get it nice looking. But
yeah, that's awesome though. It's fun. So I got some old axe heads that we did up. My one buddy was into that, and yeah, he did them. He does all those old saws, the pull saws. One guy on
oh
each
yeah, yeah,
side.
yeah. With the
Yeah,
two man. Yeah.
the huge ones. Yeah, in his little man cave over at his place, he's got like all this stuff that he redid, and it's all.
Unbelievable.
And he buys all the fake steel chainsaws and puts the kits all together for the
Okay.
Chinese or German ones or whatever. And
Wow.
he's into all that. Anything that cuts wood for some reason.
He's
he's
into it.
got he's got a 50 BMG too, so that cuts wood, I guess you could say. He's got and he's a Gracie Jiu-Jitsu instructor, so
Oh my
he's
gosh.
into
Tell me he's in
snapping
your
people
group.
up.
That's the kind of guy you want in your
Yeah,
group.
yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Oh
He's
my
right down
gosh.
the road from me. Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
I
Nice.
had to run him up on the guns and he yokes me up on the mat.
Well,
Yeah, it's
hey,
fun.
I appreciate your time, man. I know you're
Yeah, yeah.
busy. This was a great conversation. I learned a lot from you.
Yeah.
Um, I I'm just starting to do interviews on my channel, but I would love to start doing more like collaborative things with other channels. And
Yeah.
I've been reaching out to other guys and gals on YouTube to do that. But are you down to do more of this?
Yeah, yeah, sure, whenever. Yeah,
Cool.
whenever.
Well, I appreciate you, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming on. And like I said, I'll send this to you. I'll give you access so you can see it and all that stuff before it goes up. Sound
Yeah,
good?
I'm not too worried about that. Yeah, I'll help share it around for you. I'll post it
Okay.
on my community tab. Do you want to stay on here after this? You want to see a couple things?
Yeah. Yeah, I'd love that.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. That'd be awesome.
All right,
Thanks for
cool.
having me on.
All right,
Yeah.
brother. And awkward ending, push button.